Before you read a single word of this story, pause for just one moment and ask yourself this question. What if everything the public thought they knew about Lee Min-ho was wrong? What if behind the flashing cameras, behind the polished interviews, behind the perfectly curated public image there was a secret he carried for years? And what if that secret was a woman? A woman who changed his heart before he even knew it was happening. Welcome to Kdrama Drops, where the truth behind the most shocking celebrity stories is finally brought to light. Stay with us until the end, because the final scene of this story will make your heart stop and your mind question everything you thought you knew about love, loyalty, and destiny. Subscribe now so you never miss a single life-changing reveal. Now let us begin. The night was colder than usual in Seoul, the sky covered in a quiet gray that made the city lights shimmer like distant hopes. Lee Min-ho stood inside a private studio waiting alone, surrounded only by the echo of his own heartbeat. He had been in this place many times, but tonight felt different. Tonight he was about to make a choice that would rewrite his entire life. For 3 years he had been in a stable relationship, the kind the public thought would last forever. No scandals, no fights, no drama. A perfect image. A perfect love. But deep inside him something had been cracking slowly. It was not because he wanted it to. It was because the truth had been haunting him quietly like a shadow that never left. That truth had a name. Hye Kyo. Her presence had always been warm but unpredictable, like a flame that drew him in without permission. It started innocently. A casual dinner after an award show. A simple conversation during a charity event. A shared moment of laughter during backstage rehearsals. And then it became something else. Something heavier. Something he could no longer hide even from himself. He tried. For 3 years he tried. But every time he saw her smile his heart would betray him. Every time she looked away he felt something inside him drift toward her. Every time she spoke softly in that calm, gentle voice he lost track of everything else in the world. He never acted on it. He never crossed any line. But the emotions kept growing. And the moment that changed everything happened quietly during a rehearsal for a project they were both invited to join. They were sitting across from each other reading their lines. It was a simple scene. No romance. No tension. Just a friendly exchange. Yet when she looked at him her eyes held something so real, so deep, so unguarded that he felt every wall inside him collapse. It lasted only a heartbeat, but it destroyed him completely. He went home that night unable to breathe. Weeks passed. His relationship grew colder. And no matter how much he tried he could not force his heart back into the place it used to be. He was living a lie and he knew it. The breaking point came during a quiet conversation with his partner of 3 years. She had noticed his silence, his distance, the way his eyes looked somewhere else even when he was sitting right in front of her. She asked the question he feared most. Is your heart still with me? He could not lie. Not anymore. He looked down at the table. His voice broke. I do not know how to explain this. I never planned it. I never wanted it. But my heart has been somewhere else and I cannot pull it back. Her silence was sharp. Then she whispered the name he never mentioned out loud. Hye Kyo. His world stopped. Not because she was angry. Not because she cried. But because she understood. She knew before he did. You love her. She said softly. You have loved her for a long time even if you never said it. He felt tears burn his eyes but he stayed still. Yes. She nodded slowly. Then go to her. Do not stay with me when your heart is hers. It took everything in him not to break down right there. Later that week he found himself outside Hye Kyo home, his hands shaking, his chest tight with fear and hope. When she opened the door her eyes widened in surprise. He looked exhausted, almost fragile. Hye Kyo. He whispered. I tried to stop it. I tried to deny it. But I cannot. I love you. I have loved you without even knowing when it started, and I cannot keep pretending anymore. She stared at him, unable to speak. The air between them grew heavy and still. He took a deep breath. I ended the relationship. Not because I wanted to hurt anyone, but because I could not lie to her or to myself anymore. And if you do not feel the same, I will walk away now. But I needed you to know the truth. Her eyes filled with something he could not read at first. Then she stepped closer. Gently. Slowly. Carefully. Until her forehead touched his. I tried to deny it too. She whispered. But I felt it. Every time I saw you. Every time you laughed. Every time you looked at me like you were trying not to fall deeper. I felt it. And I was terrified. He held her gently, his voice barely breathing. And now. She closed her eyes. Now I am done running. The moment their hands intertwined, the world around them felt different. Softer. Brighter. Almost reborn. And that was the moment that changed everything. The moment Lee Min-ho stopped living for the image and started living for the truth. The moment Hye Kyo allowed herself to feel what she had buried for so long. The moment destiny finally caught up with two hearts that had been calling each other silently for years. This was not a scandal. This was not a mistake. This was a love story waiting to be chosen. And he finally chose it. He finally chose her.